Warzog or just to go after Greenskin artillery on a close quarters map like this, it's going to be in range right away. And also, it looks like some Skulkers have been deployed in the back, which could be their doom because they're a little bit too close, which means that the Slayers are probably just going to turn around and massacre them. I could imagine, like, the nasty Skulkers being like, oh yeah, boss, Wheeze is going to get him, and then, like, they see, like, a horde of just Slayers charging them, they're like, oh god, we screwed up. We screwed up so bad. So bad. These Slayers are coming for blood. But, I mean, again, it is pulling the Slayers away from the main fight, but the Slayers will get them eventually. Slayers are actually faster. They have 40 speed against 37, so... In the front, some of the Goblin Wolf Rider archers, a little bit of a mistake there, come danger close and get shot by all the missile pieces. And the Rock Lobbers are shooting in now. Rock Lobbers should 100% go after Peak Gate Guard. If they can kill the Peak Gate Guard, and it'll really free up the battle here for the Black Orcs. In the back, the Slayers, of course, still chasing Goblins. The Goblins could use the Smoke Bomb here. Smoke Bomb would slow them and allow the Goblins to escape. Hopefully he ends up doing that for his sake. In the flank, Goblin Wolf Rider archers looking to get around, but honestly not going to be able to do too much here. And now it looks like the heroes of the old world are going to be fighting here. So Grombrindle, Gotrek must be off doing something else, but it's not often he leaves Felix's side. But here we have the White Dwarf going in here, and Felix as well. A little bit scary, actually. I mean, Grombrindle will take a lot of damage from Wada Black Orcs, especially with Skarsnik here. Granted, a ton of AP and throwing axes coming in. Felix Jaeger needs to get in that fight to start healing Grombrindle there. And Marked by Elthar is going to be going down as well, I would imagine, which does lower their armor and... you know, it still helps in the melee fight. Now, Felix Jaeger is going to be jumping in there as well, but he needs to get the elite troops in there. Granted, Felix is, of course, going to be healing Grombrindle, which is very, very powerful. Those goblins in the back still running circles and kiting the dwarves, which is freaking hilarious. Here in the front, Longbeard's, of course, losing the Black Orcs. A lot of the dwarf frontline fights will be very tough here, but for the most part, I think the Peak Gate Guard are going to come in, and man, those throwing axes are tearing apart these Black Orcs. Like, doing so much damage. You can see the Black Orcs getting wrecked by the Ultharj Raiders, who have massive AP values on their throwing axes. So Black Orcs here are completely crumped, and now Skarsnik, the Warlord of 8 Peaks, is suddenly a little bit naked here against the White Dwarf, and oh no, the Smoke Bomb is popped! Skarsnik is slowed to 8 speed! And the White Dwarf seeks vengeance! And you can see Felix, of course, with Kara Ghul, his sword that he found in Carrick 8 Peaks, is going to be chopping into Skarsnik here. Skarsnik running for the hills. Certainly not enjoying that situation. Now, if we take an overall look at the battlefield, the Rock Lobbers are still shooting in and doing some okay damage, but I think he's making a bit of a targeting mistake here. He should either be shooting the Rangers or like the elite infantry like Longbeards. Shooting the Bolt Thrower, which costs like almost nothing and isn't really doing much anyways, is a pretty big mistake. Slayers chasing down nasty Skulkers. The other Skulkers were eventually caught by those angry Slayers and only lost 3 models while they massacred those Goblins. And in the meantime, you can see in the front, the Skulkers have been pulled into combat, as have the Squigs. But it looks like it's going to be a pretty solid Dwarven victory. I don't see the Greenskins pulling this one out. I mean, the White Dwarf is here. Felix is healing Grombrindle, so now Gromby is like going to get back up to full health if they keep fighting together. And the Ultharj Raiders used all their ammo on Black Orcs, and now they're going in with their AP axes, which makes them a pretty cool choice against Greenskins for that purpose. The Bolt Thrower are shooting back here against the Rock Lobbers. The Peak Gate Guard are charging, and they're going to sweep this whole back line. And basically, at this point, it's only a matter of time before the Proud Dowie overwhelm the Warlord of 8 Peaks. But of course, Skarsnik will escape and scheme and come back for more at some point, I'm sure. Black Orcs are piling back in, and, you know, the Black Orcs are always a threat. And here you can see the Black Orcs are doing a number here. But the White Dwarf charging in, doing battle with the Warlord of 8 Peaks, and he should be able to, you know, really smash Skarsnik here. Skarsnik takes that Rune Axe right to the face. And will he take it once again? Trixie Traps is active to give him some leadership and help him run. But Felix comes with Kara Ghul, and they're going to be able to deal with these Black Orcs, no problem. Just like so much AP and character value right there. Over here you can see the Dwarves holding firm. It looks like a Itchy Nuisance is going to be going down here. The Dwarves scratching their itchy beards, I'm sure. Squig Herds charging in. And the Night Goblins are rallying here. But yeah, with the back line being compromised and the Rock Lobbers eventually getting marched down by Longbeards, and there's still Slayers running around the map. You have to remember that. There's like 2 full health group of Slayers. Like, it might look closer here, but if you remember that there's like 50 Slayers here and probably like almost 60 Slayers there, that's going to be so much for the Dwarves to have to, or the Greenskins to have to deal with. Skulkers here being pushed back. Smoke Bomb popped once again. Longbeards are shaken, but they're holding. The Black Orcs here are now going to feel the wrath of Grombrindle, the White Dwarf, the savior of the Dwarven people, charging in there. And the Bolter is still online, which is nice. Could pick off, miscellaneous targets on the battlefield. But Grombrindle appears to be going after the Goblin. Oh my god, that's so funny. Rune of Wrath and Ruin. Really good slows from Willow this game. He's been slowing down all these threats, and you can see that this poor Goblin is going to just get absolutely axed in half. He's done been halved. Negative 142 leadership, no big deal. Kara Ghul and Felix come back and cleave some Skulkers on the way out, and the heroes of the old world do prevail, as the Greenskin Menace meets their end at the hammers of these elite Dwarven warriors, who are just going to absolutely hammer time them. Poor Goblins. That Goblin literally got his arm hammered off by that guy. Some grudges have been settled today. for sure. The Warlord of Eight Peaks has fallen or ran off the battlefield. But again, Skarsnik's the type of character to have some seriously heavy-duty plot armor. So he would be the type that would survive and, you know, come back and cackle in another realm. So great victory there by Willow. Felix healing up the Gromby. And the throwing axe is doing great work. All right. So Willow is creeping up now. And let's go ahead and get the next player. Oh, did the stream crash again? It should be back up now. Yeah, oh, yeah, I don't know what's going on. Sorry if the stream crashed, guys. It was really good. It was a really good game. Hopefully it's back now. Oh, great. Now this is going to be up as part 2. God, why does my internet suck so bad? It's just like, it's like fast, but it's just like, it's spastic and intermittent, and it's obnoxious. Well, hopefully, are you guys back now? Hopefully it'll still show up in the video afterwards, because I think it does upload directly. Yeah, stream down again. I'm sorry about that, guys. Not much we could do. All right. GG, well played. Should have not tried that memeing. I know, it's going to cost you. So next up, guys, in our game here, let's see who is next on the list. We have... Okay, so I'm going to the King of the Hill list. Professor Pone, if you're here. Let me see if he's still here. All right. Let me tag him here. It was a really good game, too. So Pone comes off a long hiatus. He hasn't played in a long time, so we'll see how this goes for him. Are we back now? Do we have the stream back online? Let me know in chat, guys. Hopefully we can get back up. God, this sucks. I'm not torrenting, yeah. John William, thank you for the $5. He says Kevin's charisma was too much for the stream to bear. It would appear so. Okay, great. Thank you, guys, for the heads up there. Professor Pone is on the way. He will challenge Willow. Willow currently with 2 wins. So if he wins this, he ties Rubber Duck. It could end in a tie as well. We haven't seen Pone in a long time. Yeah, it's fine. It's my internet it like doesn't. It just intermittent lag. Like it lags for a second, then it has issues. I don't know what it is. But thankfully, we will be moving soon. So hopefully we'll have better internet service in Ventura County. But I don't know. No guarantees, my friends. It does stress me out, though, for sure. All right. All righty. Professor Pone, the original sniper of my streams. Yeah, back when I first started streaming, Professor Pone and I have been pals for a long time. But he would always hunt me on my streams. So here he is, the man, the myth, the legend. Willow, pick one, ban one. Go, go. Yo. So we'll see what happens here. Again, my apologies, guys. Yeah, there's a little bit of... there must be something going on today with my internet service provider. Because, like, you know, we have the best internet. Hoopy Frood. Stream's looking good. Here's to more great games. Thank you, man. Him. You. Yeah, you will counterpick. So we're on Eshin here. We will do that. I could put him on the Spirit Essence of Chaos. I know. It's so weird. We live in like one of the most like... We live in Los Angeles, right? You would think it would be good here, but it's not. I blame Turin personally. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. As long as... I just hope it's stable for like the upcoming faction wars and things like that. Maybe I'll have someone come by the house and check it. I mean, they check it for free if you call them, which is nice. If Kevin, if you send me a screen blocker, man, in Discord, you know, we can work on it. Alrighty. Hello there. The game was won by the Dwarves. Willow was able to win, and hopefully, when you guys watch it back on the video afterwards, maybe it'll still be there. I'm not sure, but maybe not. We'll see. So Professor Pone says, can't ban me out, boy. So Willow picks the followers of Nagash and bans the Dark Elves. And Pone looks to be picking the Vampire Coast. Stupid internet. Trolling me. He's going to be the pirates. You better start believing in ghost stories. You're in one. Yeah, this is a new stream now. So unfortunately, it's going to split into 2 videos, which is really annoying. Like, that's one of my biggest pet peeves. Although what I could do is I could download both of them and like edit them together and then re-upload it. That might not be a bad idea, depending on the situation. We'll see. Because then it would also be potentially... I could like edit out... You know, what do you guys think about that? But I know people like to watch back and like read the stream chat. That's like part of the magic. So, yeah, I don't know. We'll see. All right, so it's going to be Coast versus Tomb Kings, basically. Followers of Nagash do have a couple of unique units. No screen blocker today, guys. Rename the channel, take light of Kevin. There's no Grand Blocker tournament. It's not happening. Fortune favors the infamous. Luther Harkin's so cool. Alrighty. Okay, guys, getting this all squared away here. Checking all the settings. The bitrate's pretty steady now. Doesn't seem to have any drama here. Not to jinx it. Yo-ho, indeed. I wonder what Pone will bring. Pone hasn't played for a couple months, but I wonder if his build will reflect that. If it'll be something like more old school, right? With like Noctilus on his crow's nest, you know? That would be pretty fun. Today's MVP, the lack of a stream blocker. I know. It really has been quite big. All hail the mighty, they're arising from the deep. We'll play that. I'm also, in the next couple days, going to be working on, early next week, I'll be working on, what's it called? A new intro for like ECLs, you know, the heavy metal one. I'm going to be redoing that with new trailers that have come since then. So it'll incorporate factions that, you know, weren't getting the love. I'm trying to decide if I want to use BFG Division again. There are some new songs from the new Doom game that I could use. So we'll see. So if Pone does win here, the stream will be over. So Pone is basically more or less fighting for the honor of a rubber duck of war. Pone saying, listen, Will, I haven't played in a while. You better not embarrass me in front of everybody. I'll never forgive you. All right, he's ready. Let's go, Pone Dog. Let's go, Willow. Let's see how this game goes. The battle for the fate of this stream once again. Willow 6669 making his valiant stand here. I need to upgrade my computer too. My computer's getting a little bit dated. I've had it since 2016? Man, yeah. That's when I started YouTube, more or less, like 3.5 years ago. 3.5, a little bit more than that actually. Can't quite remember. Thank you guys for all sticking around on this journey. Coming back to the stream despite my internet's insistence on trolling. I don't know what it is. New song, new decade. I'm all like checking the stream every couple seconds like, don't you crash on me. Don't you do it. Pone says, don't embarrass me in front of everybody. Yeah, we'll see. I don't know. Like, I don't know what to expect from Pone. You know, that's the wild card factor. He'll probably meme, knowing him. Oh my god, Hex Wraiths. Hex Wraiths! The followers of Nagash coming in with Fellbats and Hex Wraiths. Oh, this is next level. Next level tactics. All right, so let's look at the followers of Nagash. So this is Willow. He's the current king of the hill. He's down 1 game from a rubber duck of war. But if he does win this, he'll carry on and have a chance to beat the record. If he loses, then the win will be a rubber duck. So he's got Skeleton Spearmen. Crypt Ghouls are actually kind of a nice niche here because against Vampire Coast, they are really good at killing zombies. They have, you know, not the most durability, but Deckhand Mob's output isn't great, so they really get to enjoy their high weapon strength. Here we do also have the Eyes of the Desert in the back, 2 Tomb Scorpions, no, 1 Tomb Scorpion, 2 Fellbats, and double Hex Wraith. I do not know what's going on with these, but it's going to be really fun nonetheless. I mean, their applications, okay, good AP against crabs and fire damage, so they can kill Lamprey's Revenge rather quickly. The Terror is not pertinent at all, but yeah, I mean, kind of a weird unit choice, but I mean, they could be good against crabs, Depth Guard. They have a good AP against. Fire damage is really good against a lot of Vampire Coast units, so it's certainly not bad. Now for Pone's build, he's got deckhand mobs with polearms, 2 depth guard. He does have the black spot, 2 Mourngulls on the flanks, and it looks like some scurvy dogs in the tree line with Luther Harkin. It's a good build. This is a strong build. Has a lot answers for a lot of the different things here. Luther obviously can deal with constructs on his own very, very well. Mourngulls, give you good mass and good punch. It does lack magic damage, so the Hex Wraiths are actually going to be kind of hard to kill, believe it or not. And he does have a Vampire Fleet Captain here, so see how this goes. I would expect 1 artillery piece at least, like a cannon or something like that, to try and force the Tomb Kings in, because here Pone can be kited a little bit with the Skeleton Horseman archers and some of these other troops, but we'll of course see how this goes. Pone says, "You've already fallen into my trap, you just don't know it yet." Glorious, glorious smack talk. I love it. So Depth Guard are going to really buzzsaw through those skeletons pretty well, but there's a lot of good answers for the Depth Guard in the form of the Hex Wraiths and the Tomb Scorpion, and also we have Arc in the Black with Spirit Leech. Spirit Leech very good here. Oh, and he has Purple Sun too. So if the vampires blob up too much, Arc in the Black is rocking a wild Purple Sun. The Purple Sun could of course do some massive damage. We will see how that goes. So here the Eyes of the Desert have been revealed. They're now visible. Vampire Coast doesn't have any firepower to really chase them. So Pone is going to advance. It's very much like a aggressive Vampire Coast army. I prefer gun lines, but obviously this army has a lot of powerful tools, Depth Guard and Mourngulls, but Luther Harkin is like a one-man army. I can't tell you how many games I've seen Luther Harkin just carry. Now, what would be really good for Pone here is if he got his Scurvy Dogs, his Mourngulls, and all these troops and just killed these Eyes of the Desert. That's like a free kill here. Like, just swarm them with all this stuff, and you will kill them. In the meantime, Fellbats are falling back. Luther Harkin has put the Slan Gold on Arc in the Black and is shooting him with a pistol. So now the Fellbats have engaged in the Eyes of the Desert. The Mourngulls and Halberds need to get back here as well. Otherwise, it's just not going to do much. Those Fellbats are just going to be a sacrifice. But it looks like Luther is basically just sitting on top of Arc in the Black and shooting him with a pistol. Now, Depth Guard have engaged against Skeleton Spears and will cut them to pieces very quickly. In the back, though, the Eyes of the Desert are forced back, but at the very least, this elite unit is running from Fellbats, which is very powerful. And Luther's being a little bit conservative up here. If I were playing Luther, I'd probably go in and attack right now. Arkin is overextended and has no support, and Pone has heard the call. So here he comes. Arkin is on horseback, but he's got Power Siphon, could potentially take a lot of damage. As a matter of fact, these Black Spot units could switch onto Arkin here and do some really fat damage as well. Now in the back, the Hex Wraiths have engaged. Arc in the Black does use a Skeleton Summon to try and target Professor Pone's forces. Mourngulls and Zombies have engaged against Hex Wraiths, which is going to take an eternity. Now the things that are going well for the Vampire Coast, the Depth Guard are chewing through the chaff pretty quickly. Arc in the Black did take a bit of damage. Battle's actually very, very even right now. I would not say anybody's in a clear state of advantage. In the back here, Scurvy Dogs have tied up the Eyes of the Desert, which aren't going to be excellent at killing like Scurvy Dog type units. So this is actually pretty cost effective for Pone. Up in the sky, we have Luther Harkin once again, just lining up his pistol and probably just shooting at Arc in the Black. Another breath attack coming in. It does miss. Juked by Willow at the very last second. Now, this is a bit of a risky engagement. If Professor Pone gets Luther and goes in after Arkin here, the Hex Wraiths could perhaps come over and swarm him, and that would be pretty strong, because they have pretty good mass. It'd be hard to get away from them. Granted, Luther does have the zombies he can kind of pull through here, and does have a Vampire Caster here as well who could drop some summons. It looks like there's going to be an Invocation going down on Luther, and a Zombie Summon going down at the same time, and they are, honestly doing good damage here against the Crab. No, that was actually a new Shopti Summon on the back of Depth Guard, which is a really, really good play. So Luther is tar pitted here. It looks like a Zombie Summon is now coming down from the Vampire Fleet Captain, summoning some pistol mobs back here to start shooting Arc in the Black. But it looks like Luther Harkin's a little bit trapped up by all these AP zombies who do, of course, do fire damage. These Hex Wraiths also doing a surprisingly good job, being very, very tough to kill for the zombies. And yeah, it's looking like a really just nail-biter of a game. Over here, there's still a lot of power for Vampire Coast. We have the Depth Guard being shot by the Eyes of the Desert, which is a really, really good play here for the forces of the Tomb Kings. And the Depth Guard still fighting down here, a little bit beat up, a little bit bruised. Luther Harkin trying to escape, but he's being Spirit Leashed and just being circle beaten here, while Arc in the Black basically just stands on top of the gun zombies to avoid being shot. Although it looks like Vampire Fleet Captain is coming in, might be going after Arkin. He does have Taunt activated on him as well. And Luther Harkin is trying to push past these damn Hex Wraiths, but the Hex Wraiths with their mass are really causing a lot of problems. Over here we have Mourngulls going after the Crab. The Tomb Scorpion is taking some AP damage from the Mourngulls, who do of course have good AP values. And you can see here the Hex Wraiths have been able to tar pit this engagement for quite some time. Depth Guard, of course, will chew through the Crypt Tools very efficiently. And if they take out the Scorpion here and then dogpile onto the Eyes of the Desert, that would actually be a really, really big boon here for the forces of the Vampire Coast. Arc in the Black in a duel here, but oh no, Luther Harkin's free from his cage. He's coming, he's pissed. And Arc in the Black could be in some trouble if Luther catches him. I mean, Luther, like I said, is an absolute raid boss. Also, the Ushapti Summon will be disappearing here in a couple seconds, and there it goes. Hex Wraiths are coming in to try and salvage this situation, and the one thing that's kind of rough for Vampire Coast here is like there's a lot of power down here for the forces of the Followers of Nagash. And Luther is being, heavily tar-pitted here by the Camarades. Now, over here, the Crab has fallen, and now the Mourngulls look to be going after Eyes of the Desert. Now, what's really good for the Eyes here is that they are anti-large specialists, so they should be able to hurt the Mourngulls pretty bad. Pone needs to pull the Felbats in here, maybe switch the Black Spot to shoot at these guys, because otherwise the Mourngulls are just going to be absolutely shredded here by the anti-large capabilities here of the Eyes of the Desert. Luther's back up in the sky. Arkin the Black is in danger, being shot by the flintlock pistol of Luther Harkin, not a blunderbuss. And the Vampire Caster is in combat. Taunt is active, and honestly, Vampire Fleet Captains are insanely strong duelists. Like, they're really, really durable. Hexwraiths are still in good shape as well, so there's some spooky pressure here for the forces here of the Followers of Nagash. And the Mourngulls are being taken apart, like I said, by the Eyes of the Desert, who are now out of ammo, so no more shooting for them. Depth Guard here are finishing off the ghouls down in the low ground. Luther Harkin still just being an absolute raid boss, going after Arkin. Oh no, Arkin gets crumped, taking huge damage. Luther might finish him here. His critical binding, his HP is 51. Man, he's probably going to crumble. Arkin the Black's crumbling, 8 leadership, 7, -16, and down goes Arkin the Black. So Pone with a really good snipe there, but my concern for Pone's army is dealing with all those Hex Wraiths with like Depth Guard and like pretty much nothing else is going to be really difficult. So Depth Guard here, able to make mincemeat of the ghouls, up to 203 whopping kills. Bounce power is pretty even, but the Vampire Caster is crumbling as well, -22. Now, if this Vampire Fleet Captain is able to get a summon off before she goes, that would be extremely clutch. That would really help Luther Harkin in this full surround of a situation. We have a couple Depth Guard coming in as well, I think. No, it's mainly just Halberds, and Luther is trying to get away. Eyes of the Desert are here. Luther needs to get away, use his pistol ammunition, and fall back onto these Depth Guard up on the high ground, because if he doesn't, he is going to have a really bad time. So Hexwraiths are proving to be a really sticky, annoying presence. And Luther, of course, will shoot his pistol while he's being chased here, and he's trying to get away, but he needs to get to those Depth Guard. Like, he has to get to those Depth Guard, or else he's going to be in big trouble. So Depth Guard are coming in. The Black Spot is still alive with 28 models. They might stabilize, actually. -25. They're crumbling. There are some Halberds over here. Pone, I would imagine, is spam clicking with all of his might here, but I guess at this point, Luther might as well fight to get some damage in before he goes. Those Depth Guard are going to be really hard to kill, but like I said, Hexwraiths are pretty good against them because they have AP and they're really tough to kill. Vampire Coast Gunline, it needs to shoot before it crumbles. If it can get a couple good AP volleys off, there's not going to be any terror routes or anything like that here. And Pone says good luck, but not too much fun. Also, the Black Spot shooting in, getting a couple of poking shots here on the Eyes of the Desert before they go. The Depth Guard are just rushing in. And if Luther can get to the Depth Guard, I think he has a chance. Because that's going to be a very durable anchor. Depth Guard, of course, have the hunger, so they heal while they're fighting. And they'll cut apart these guys. They do take a nice little charge there, down to 37 models. But this is where Luther makes his stand, for sure. Just like fight here, and if you win, you win. Depth Guard are going to be going after Hexwraiths, which is, like I said, a very unfortunate target. There are some Skeleton Spearmen in the back, which can go, but Luther needs to fight. Like, I think if he keeps running, it's going to be a mistake. Depth Guard are down to 34 models. They have done some decent HP damage, despite the ethereal nature of the Hexwraiths. If they can break the leadership of the Hexwraiths, though, that would be really strong. Hexwraiths don't, crumbling is very valuable against them. So if he can get them to crumble, that's going to be super big. Depth Guard here, fighting to the bitter end against the mighty Hexwraiths. Hornswoggle is activated. Very nice play. It puts him down to 0 melee defense. But the Depth Guard are getting worn down. 30 models, but holding pretty firm. And Luther Harkin, his presence alone does lead to the crumbling of some of these troops. And Hexwraiths, this is smart by Willow. Cycle charging here is going to be very efficient because, again, he has the capability of doing it. He absolutely should. But Luther Harkin's back up in the sky. The Depth Guard, of course, fighting, scrapping, not crumbling yet. Critical binding, but they still have 28 models here. Oh, the Eyes of the Desert had some ammo left. That's pretty unfortunate. 0 leadership, but they're getting a ton of shots up into Luther. The Depth Guard probably will clean up these Skeleton Spearmen, or at least lead them to crumble. But Luther Harkin's pistol doing so much damage as these Depth Guard continue to fight. Hexwraiths are crumbling as well. Is Professor Pone going to be able to end the streak of Willow? Oh, and a big breath attack coming in, which does pick off a couple Hexwraiths. That's really big. At this point, though, Pone needs to attack. He needs to attack while he still has Depth Guard fighting, because if they crumble out and Luther's alone, he could actually still lose this against like the Hexwraiths and the Eyes of the Desert and these different troops here. And Luther, as far as ammunition goes, he has 12 shots left. And the bounce of power is going more and more into the favor here of Professor Pone. And you can see Luther Harkin taking a charge here from the Hexwraiths in the back. Able to pin him in, but their DPS output isn't great. So Luther probably is going to endure that. But man, these Depth Guard are up to 274 kills. Absolute lunacy. And Professor Pone is going to be the ender of days as he does take out Willow. Ending the stream and also declaring the Rubber Duck of War as the victor. Everyone's like, come on, Pone. Rubber Duck of War in chat's like, come on, Pone. Yeah, sorry about the lag, guys. It's just my internet today is being a real piece of it. Man. That was something. Everyone's like, no. So Professor Pone, the wild card, coming in with the victory. Sorry about the lag again, guys. I'm going to call someone from the internet provider today and see if they can come and check it out, because this is pretty unacceptable for sure. So the winner of the day is going to be a rubber duck of war. His name shall be epic and large. He was able to win 3 games today. Just goes to show that, just goes to show that heavy is the head that wears the crown. The Pone brings the end times to the stream. A rubber duck of war is going to be our victor, and make sure to check him out. Rubber Duck, feel free to drop a link to your stream as we close this out. And yeah, man, that was a really fun stream. Again, my apologies for the lag. We got through most of the stream without the lag, which was really nice. But yeah, that was crazy. Lycus, a couple tips for your game. If I had to say, for your game, obviously Skarsnik is a super suboptimal pick. The Rock Lobber targeting needed to be changed. The Rock Lobber needed to be shooting at either the Hammerers. You need to eliminate the threats to your Black Orcs. The Hammerers are a threat. Also, the Black Orcs blobbing up. You had the ranged advantage, Lycus. You didn't need to engage. I would force the Dwarves to advance on you and maximize the value from your Rock Lobbers. Also, the nasty Skulkers vanguarding behind the Dwarves is a little bit risky. I would have used them more on the flanks of your own army. Those are just my kind of topical tips from what I can remember. He had the most wins, but I was the king at the end, which means I win in my book. All right, guys, congratulations. Thank you so much for joining today. Oh, is that? Oh, man, there was probably an echo from my own stream. Yeah, well, hopefully it was still fun. That was a nail biter. So, special thanks to the mods for helping out as always. Cannot do it without you guys. And thanks, guys, for the donations today. Some very generous donations from Hoopy Frood, John William, Chris Fegan, Daniel Hammer, Whoa Dude, Faust again, Spencer Russ, Aaron Perlman, Joe Leonard with the fat erect 100. Thank you so much. Simon Benjamin with the tenor. Major Moolah coming in with that Moolah as always. Thank you guys so much for the very generous donations. It's been an absolute blast. And we'll be back with more King of the Hill early next week. So we're going to end it for now. I'm going to call my service provider and get this straightened out. And really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for your support. And congratulations to your Rubber Duck of War. Make sure to check out his YouTube channel if you haven't. And big shout out to our boy Kevin. The Rise of Kevin has been the theme of the stream. And thanks, Pone, for coming in and playing. We'll see you guys next time, and take care.